Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jackie, I'm a counsellor. Today, anxiety is something I want to talk about. I know it can be absolutely debilitating for some people. It can affect their sleeping, their eating, their relationships, their behaviour. Decisions that they make day to day can be affected by anxiety. If you've seen my other videos about gaslighting, being on the back foot, future faking, and there's more to come, but a lot of those behaviours, being on the receiving end of those behaviours, are anxiety provoking. Even the person dishing them out may be struggling with anxiety. As a general rule of thumb, and there's always exceptions to the rules, is that depression is somebody looking back at past events, things that have upset them, things that they may not be able to fully tap into, and it brings the mood low. Anxiety is somebody who has their eyes focused forward on the future. There's a lot of unknowns in the future, things you can just not predict. So living with that unknownness is what can bring about anxiety. Panic attacks, when you are inexperienced with them, they can just feel completely random. And even when you're experienced with them, they can just feel random. But are they random? Did a timeline of when the panic attacks happened. Say it happened here, the most inconvenient time. You might be in the supermarket and it's coming for you. So it's happened there. If you took the time and drew a timeline going backwards to here, you may find that along that timeline, this part was where there was maybe an argument you had, maybe you had a disagreement, maybe something happened, something triggered a bout of anxiety. And what your body done was store it, and it's found a gap now because now you're oblivious to something. Your mind's vacant, you're just drifting through the aisles of the supermarket and it's got you. You're breathing heavy, you're sweaty, your mind's racing, you can't think, you don't know what to do, you can't read the things around you, you can't focus on the conversations around you. You're in full throes of a panic attack. Now there's many breathing techniques and grounding techniques that do work. I suggest if you're somebody who struggles with anxiety, it doesn't have to get to panic attack stage. If you can familiarize yourself with breathing and grounding techniques, that's good. But what I want to share with you today is, if all that fails, you just can't think because this thing is on your back. Breathe all the way out and repeat. When you find yourself in the throes of panic, can't think, don't know what's going on, want to get out of here, can't breathe, breathe all the way out. Expel all that air out your lungs, because naturally you're going to breathe in again. It's the breathing out. You may find that when you're tense, you have a tendency to hold your breath, and that's going to make a lot of other things worse biologically. You're not going to get the blood flow going where it needs to go. You're going to feel dazed and confused. So do what you can to breathe all the way out. Maybe try that 3 times, and then see if you can take yourself to a safe place where you can just then practice those grounding techniques if possible. If you have someone around you who knows and understands, even better, they can help you. And for that person, they need to be very calm, very level-headed, and just reassuring that you'll be okay. With panic attacks, it can feel so intense and real. If you can just look around at your environment and risk assess it and conclude, are you actually safe? Because the way you feel may not match up with the environment you're in. You may actually feel unsafe, unsettled, completely uncomfortable. But when you look at the reality, you are reasonably safe. The ground isn't shaking beneath your feet. The chair you're sitting on is grounded onto the floor. People maybe aren't noticing you breathing with the neon flashing sign saying anxiety attack, panic attack, anxiety attack, panic attack. They may not notice that. That's just something in your mind or my mind. So you may not be as obvious to others. You may be safe. Anxiety and sleep can bring about nightmares, insomnia, hard to get to sleep, overthinking. Just when you're about to sleep, your mind's playing back the day, what he said, what she said, what you could have said, why didn't you say that, why did you say that? With children, They express their emotions through behaviour. They don't have the way of articulating in the same way. Some do, fantastic, but not all children have the way that they can put words together to say exactly what it is they're saying, and even adults can struggle with finding the words to put to exactly what it is they're feeling. So with children, they express themselves through their behaviour. If you observe the child's behaviour, you'll get an insight into what could be going on emotionally for them. And anxiety is one of those things where it's on a spectrum of excitement to anxiety. And I've seen it in children where they can just be so excited about something, and so easily it just tips over into tears, because actually underneath it all is some anxiety. Anxiety can be managed by being reassuring, soothing, comforting, consistent, present, warm, caring, friendly. Some people, their anxiety may be coming from a place where there was a time where they wasn't safe. Literally the ground beneath their feet may have been shaking. They may have been in something traumatic. It may be trauma-based, the anxiety. This is why I'd suggest getting mental health professional guidance and advice and support. Speak to a counsellor. And check out my website on You, Me, We Therapy. Speak to somebody who will have the time to listen to you and work through those difficult and upsetting thoughts. Anxiety is almost like an alarm bell to let you know something's up. I like to explain it like this. If you have a house and it has an alarm system on it and a burglar breaks in, the alarm goes off. So that anxiety feeling is an indication that something's been breached. There's an alarm going off. What I find helpful is finding out where in your body you first feel the anxiety. It might be hard to pinpoint at first, so you may have to take some time to really think about that. Or you may have to actually go through another panic attack, which is so unpleasant. But when you start to feel panicky, have a pause, if you can, somewhere where you just observe mentally, where did I feel that first in my body? You might have noticed there was a burning in your chest, your palms started getting sweaty, or your head started to get really tight, the back of your neck got tight. If you can pinpoint where in your body you felt that first, that then can be considered that alarm, that something's about to go down. Action it at that point, you've caught it just ever so slightly before it tips into the anxiety attack. And eventually, the more you practice this, the more you'll be able to go backwards. So you've got somebody who's had the panic attack. So let's go backwards in time. Where did they feel it in their body? So let's go backwards in time. What happened where they expected that the chances are it could lead to this sensation in my body? So they've gone backwards, working backwards down the timeline to prevent the panic attack happening. So thank you for watching today. Follow me on this journey and like and subscribe.